Welcome to EPG Pathshala. My name is G. Mahendra Reddy. I am working as Assistant Professor in Tourism at National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management. Now we are going to discuss a paper on tourism in India and a module on national parks and hill stations in India. The objective of this particular module is to know what is national park and what is hill station, what is national park tourism or hill station tourism, or what are the tourism activities that will be there in national parks and hill stations, and what are the major national parks and the hill stations that we have in India and its importance in its location. So that we are going to discuss in this particular module. So first we will go through some introduction about the national parks. National park tourism is part of ecotourism. In earlier module we have also discussed about the ecotourism, but this is little different, but of course it's a part of ecotourism. But when it comes to India, we got more than 100 national parks which are very popular and having rich potential, rich biodiversity, and these are resources for tourism also. So because of this particular reason and because of huge development in ecotourism, especially in protected areas, that too the national parks, we have segmented this, or we have separately mentioned this particular topic as national parks and hill stations in India. Generally, protected areas or the cultural artifacts, areas protected legally and have a long history. So any national park you take in India and in any other country, these are protected legally and which is having a cultural artifacts, means the people who are living is having some different culture and the different biodiversity. For example, some historians claim that there was like a specific set aside in India for the protection of the natural resources over 2 million years ago. Generally, national parks are categorized by or under the International Union for a Conservation of Nature category, and these are the category 6 protected national parks in India. And in India, the first national park was established in the year 1936, that is Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand. And this particular concept is evolving and becoming more popular, especially in tourism point of view. So these national parks are having multiple benefits, and these benefits have recognized by different people and different organizations. But when it comes to a typical segmentation, the scholar Eagle mentioned that the park benefits can be seen into 3 different levels. So that is a societal level or society point of view. Second level will be on the park managers or the tour operators or tour management point of view. And third will be individually or as a tourist, what they are going to get, that we are going to discuss. So the general social benefits by visiting any national parks, we can see that a redistribution of income and wealth, and there will be increased opportunity for employment generation, tax generation. There will be opportunity for gaining a foreign currency also, and that will assist for a community development and conservation. And it also promotes the conservation of natural and cultural heritage also, not only culture, even the nature, because basically the protected areas are about the natural heritage, and it is also closely associated with the people, like indigenous people who are living in those protected areas, and a sustained and commemorate cultural identity can be possible. So these are other social benefits that we can see with the park development. And in other point of view, in social point of view, that is educational opportunity, especially for the society. They can learn a lot from these protected areas, especially the national parks. And along with that, it is also promoting the wealth, health and well-being. So basically it promotes health, because it is connected with the nature. Whenever you go to any tourist or visitor, and if they stay in a particular time for some time, maybe depending on their availability, and there will be some changes in terms of health condition that was scientifically proved, and many countries specially established these national parks, and in that way they are promoting and they are suggesting the citizens to go and visit that particular national parks. And it also expands the global understanding and awareness and appreciation between the different countries and the different regions. And the second level, that is a tour operators and park management point of view, that is promotion of conservation is possible. The tour operator, whatever the money they are generating, they can contribute to the conservation of nature to some extent, and at the same time there will be a possibility for a development of heritage and appreciation. In fact, there will be a greater revenue generation, and they can learn from others, and there will be a possibility for employment generation and income generation, and there will be a possibility for a long-term sustainable economic development if we plan it in a proper way. Finally, the third level is about the individual or a tourist. There are multiple benefits for the tourist or the individuals who are visiting these particular national parks. These are like, it can be possible for a promotion of conservation and preservation, gaining some health benefits and enhancing personal experience. These personal experience can be again divided into different, like the cognitive experience and affective experience and psychomotor experience or psychomotor desire. For example, cognitive experience are like learning about nature and wildlife from the national parks, and the other concept is that affective concept, for example gaining a peace of mind in that particular area. And the third one is psychomotor desire, for example get some exercise. And the other benefits are participate in a social experience, achieving some family bonding. So people who are visiting this national park, like most of the time they can interact with the other people and they can learn from others, they can share their experience, not simply about the nature, even in general about the society. And there is also possibility for a team building, and they may feel that there will be a personal accomplishment with this particular visit to the national park. So these are the general benefits that we can see in this particular concept whenever you visit to the national parks or sometimes maybe hill stations. So we have discussed about the national parks and its importance and impacts. So now we are going to discuss about like what is the importance of these national parks. This is important because it is having very rich biodiversity. So now we are going to discuss about the biodiversity in India. India is a mega diverse country with only 2.4 of the world's land area and harbors 7 to 8% of all the recorded species, including over 45,000 of plants and 91,000 of animal species. It is also among the few countries that have developed a biogeographical classification for a conservation, and for a conservation planning it has mapped biodiversity rich areas in the country. So this is one of the greatest initiative that the Indian government has taken. Compared to other countries, we are doing far better when it comes to the biodiversity conservation. This particular concept, like they have planned in this, out of 34 global biodiversity hotspots, 4 are present in India, and these 4 are namely Himalayan and Western Ghats, the Northeast and Nicobar Islands. So these are very popular biodiversity hotspots not only in the country, even throughout the world. Considering the outstanding universal value and exceptional high level of endemism in the Western Ghats, 39 sites in the state of Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra have been inscribed on the World Heritage List on the Natural World Heritage Site in the year 2012. So this is also one of the greatest initiative taken by the Indian government along with the UNESCO. With this, there is a concentration for the conservation of the rich biodiversity which is in endangered list, so that we are conserving with this particular concept, especially in Karnataka and Kerala, Tamil Nadu areas. And what is the importance of tourism in national park? We have discussed about the rich biodiversity, and we have discussed about the national parks, what is national park and all. Now we are going to discuss about the importance of tourism in these national parks. We have already discussed that it is having rich biodiversity and other socio-economic and environmental impacts on individuals and the society, and even on the governments which they are operating. So these are national parks and sanctuaries are today the most visited sites in the country, because we are having more than 100 national parks, and which is having very rich biodiversity and diverse flora fauna. So this has become one of the major attraction for the tourists to visit these areas. The tourists, say the wildlife lovers, can find the best opportunities for a safari tour, sightseeing, bird watching, fishing, angling, river crossing, camping, and many other different activities like trekking and walking or heritage walks or the nature walks. So these are the different activities that they can participate during a trip that they take to a particular national park. So among that, especially the tigers and elephants, many very rare species that we can witness in most of the national parks. So the best example that we can say that tiger tourism is very popular, and the many national parks, especially the central India and even in Karnataka. So these areas are becoming very popular, and the country is having highest number of tigers, where the tourists are showing interest to witness in the wild areas. So that is also one of the reason that the tourism in national parks is increasing, and so with that there is also supporting service development like the hotel industry, travel agents, tour operators, and many other hospitality services are growing day by day, and these are also indirectly or directly contributing something for the nature conservation and to the local people for the development and for employment generation. To make these wildlife to be more experienced to the tourist, in most of the areas government has given permission to provide basic amenities and the accessibility and hospitality services to the tourists who are visiting these areas. The best example that we can see in India, that Bandhavgarh National Park, or you take any other major national parks, even the Taj Group and the other popular hotel chain groups have established their hotels. So that is one of the best example that we can say that how tourism is developing in national parks, because it needs lot of money, and the high-end tourists generally they visit or they take these kind of services. So that means there will be more revenue generation with this particular wildlife watching in national parks. And when it comes to the profile of national parks in India, as of 2012 list, there are 112 national parks in the country, and all the national park land then encompasses a total of 39,919 square kilometers. It is comprising of 1.2% of the total surface area of India, and a total of 160 national parks have been authorized, and plans are under pipeline. So maybe in a recent future there will be a possibility to get all the recognition for whatever the mentioned 164 national parks. In earlier module we have already discussed that part of ecotourism, that national park like the wildlife sanctuaries and tiger reserves are part of ecotourism. But in this also we are going to discuss very briefly about the different national parks which are very popular. Sundarbans is one of the best national park in the country to see the wild animals, especially the tiger, which is located in Bengal, and some parts of Bangladesh also it is covering, and majority part is there in West Bengal in India. And it is also home for the several animal species which are closer to extinct. Kanchenjunga is other national park. It is located in Sikkim. The reserve covers an area of 1784 square kilometers, and it is there in a highest altitude, like it is one of the highest altitude national park in the country, which is located in Sikkim. And the place is ideal location for nature and wildlife lovers, as the biosphere reserve represents the rich ecosystem, which also includes many glaciers, waterfalls, lakes, streams, and other major tourist attractions, which are having a rich potential for the tourists to participate and enjoy in these particular areas. The other national park is that Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park is also well-known World Heritage Site in the country. It is located in the state of Assam. This particular park is visited by many tourists, not only from India, even from the other countries also. So the other national park is that Manasa National Parks, or we call it as a Manasa Wildlife Sanctuary. It is located in Assam. It is also the home for a rare and endangered wildlife like the Indian rhinoceros, tiger, Assam rufous turtle. So these are the some flora and fauna that we can see in this particular area. And it also shelters approximately 55 different species of mammals and 400 species of birds, 50 species of reptiles. With this rich biodiversity, many people are visiting to these places to witness the wildlife in wild areas. And the other national park is Dachingam National Park. Is a well-known national park located near Srinagar, that is in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. It's around 22 kilometers from Srinagar. The terrain in the area ranges from gently sloping grasslands to sharp rocky outskirts and cliffs. These are one of the major attractions, and this particular park is the habitat of the endangered hangul or the Kashmir stag. So there are over 150 different species of birds inhabited park's vicinity, and the golden eagle and the bird vulture or many other animals that we can see in this particular national park, and it is also one of the popular national park for tourists to visit during the season. Namadapa National Park, it is also one of a well-known national park in the northeast region, that is in Arunachal Pradesh, and it is also ideal location for the eco-tourist who wants to enjoy the nature, and they are providing different types of accommodations for the tourists who are visiting, ranging from small homes like house facilities to tented accommodation to the star level accommodation in those particular areas where nearby the national park. And the other national park is that Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. It is also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site that is located in India in the state of Uttarakhand, and it is also very popular for different plant species and medicinal plants. Jim Corbett National Park is also one of the best national park for the wildlife, which we can see tigers and many other wild animals. And this particular national park is located in Uttarakhand, the north part of the country. Gir National Park. Gir National Park is very popular for Asiatic lion, and this particular park is located in the state of Gujarat, and the government has concentrated specially to promote tourism in this particular area with a particular theme of a wildlife theme or like extinction species that they are promoting. So this is also one of the major attraction for the tourist because of the Asiatic lion in this particular area. And the other national park is that Great Himalayan National Park. It is one of the largest national park in terms of the size, and this is located in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and it is also very popular for nature tourism or the people who want to experience the nature, especially the atmosphere and the weather condition. So all this will be a added advantage for the tourists to experience the nature. So we have discussed about the national parks, and now we are going to discuss about hill stations in India. Hill stations are also the major tourist attractions in the country, because we got hill stations which are very popular even during the colonial period also. This particular concept was very popular, and the hill stations are high altitude towns or areas or major attractions for the tourism. Especially these are the places of refuge from the summer heat, especially during summer. Many tourists would like to go to these places, especially where the hill stations are very popular to escape from the heat. And many have a picturesque lakes and focal point, making them excellent place for boating and many other recreational activities, because they are also blessed with different like the river systems and lakes and many other like biodiversity. The Indian subcontinent has 7 principal mountain ranges, and the largest of all these ranges are the Himalayan that lies in the north part of the country. Then there are like a Shivalik range that also lies within the same region as some of famous hill stations that include Dalhousie, Kulu in Shimla, that is in Himachal Pradesh, Nainital in Uttarakhand, and the other hill stations in India are located in state of Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, West Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Maharashtra, some parts of Karnataka and some parts of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and very few in Andhra Pradesh. So that we can see, especially in northeast and northern state, we have more hill stations. And these hill stations, all the hill stations are world famous, and they are frequently visited by not only the Indian tourist, even by the foreign tourist, especially in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir. These places you can see number of foreign tourists who are visiting in summer. Majority of the hill stations are well connected with the different accessible modes like the roadways, air services, even the rail services are also well connected to these major hill stations in the country. So these are the hill stations, and we are going to discuss about the major hill stations that which are there in India. Auli is one of the major tourist attraction hill station. It is located in the state of Uttarakhand, and it lies towards the northern part of the state of Uttaranchal in Chamoli district, and it forms a part of the Garhwal mountain range, a hill station and ski destination in India, and it is also one of the major ski destination in the state, and is surrounded by coniferous and oak forest with a panoramic view of the Himalayas. It is also believed that this pretty location is blessed with a sacred visit of Shankaracharya, and it is also surrounded by high peak like Mana, Kamet, and the tallest of all Nanda Devi. The place has cool climate all through the seasons and attracts the tourists throughout the year. And the other major hill station in the state of Uttarakhand is Nainital. Nainital is also very popular tourist attraction visited by many tourists throughout the year. Generally it is called as a lake district because there are n number of lakes you can see in around that particular place, and it is also a destination for all kind of tourists for different demographic profiles. And this particular city is well connected with the other major cities. Different accessibility, especially the roadways, are well connected to the major cities, and it is well maintained and well visited by the Indian and the foreign tourists every year. So of course Shimla in Himachal Pradesh is also one of the best hill station. It was very popular even during the British or the colonial period also, and it was also the summer capital for the Britishers when they were ruling the country. And now it is a capital for the state of Himachal Pradesh, and it is blessed with a beautiful landscape and highly appreciated for its ethnic, cultural and eternal beauty. Shimla is also an example for architectural paradise, and it is having many splendid colonial architectural buildings. Even today also you can witness all these buildings which represents the colonial lifestyle and their architecture. The other famous hill station in the state of Himachal Pradesh is Dalhousie. Dalhousie is also one of the major hill station located in Chamba district. It is a gateway to Chamba district and contributes majority in tourist movement in the state. And some major tourist attractions of the town include Denkan Peak and Kajjar and Dalhousie Cantonment, Sada Bazaar, Tibetan Market, and many other areas that you can see in this particular area whenever you visit to these places. The other and very popular hill station is that Gulmarg. Gulmarg is very popular throughout the world, and it is located in the state of Jammu Kashmir. It is the hill station and very popular skiing destination in the state. The soil in Gulmarg comprises of glacial deposits, lacustrine deposits, and moraines of the Pleistocene era covering the shales, limestone, sandstone, schists, and other varieties of rocks. And these are also attracting, giving some feel and some added value to the tourist. And Gulmarg, the cable car is very popular in this particular area. It is well known throughout the country, is a popular tourist attraction. Whenever you visit to that particular place, one should not miss this particular cable car experience. And it is one of the highest cable car in the world, not only in India. The other hill station is Dharamshala. Dharamshala is also located in Uttarakhand. It is also very popular not only for the nature, even for the cultural heritage also, because this place, it is also popular for Buddhism, especially Dalai Lama, and who is staying in this particular area, and many foreign tourists, especially the Buddhist tourists visiting this area. So apart from that, Dharamshala is one of the popular hill station, and it is also having very good connectivity with the northern states. Even from Delhi, there will be a regular bus and train services. It is very ideal destination for a nature or natural lovers. Some of famous places to see in around Dharamshala are Baksu waterfall, Dal Lake, Dharamkot, the cricket stadium. In fact, it's one of the best location that you can see that this kind of stadium you can't see anywhere in the country, and it is located on top of the hill where you can experience the background nature with very beautiful surroundings. And there are other cultural centers like Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts and the Tibetan Museum. And you can see many Tibetan tourists who come to these places regularly, stay for a long time. Kufri is also one of the hill station in the state of Himachal Pradesh. It's just close, or you can say that it's within the city of Shimla in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The name derived, the Kufri means the lake in the local language, and the Himalayan Nature Park and the Indian Tourist Park are the nearby tourist attractions. Whoever visit to this Kufri, they can go to those places. And this particular place was founded in the year 1819 by the Britishers, and it's become a popular tourist destination today. So we have discussed about the national parks, its importance and its tourism, and the hill stations, its importance and its tourism. So with this, I would like to summarize that the national parks are the parks which are protected legally by the government, maybe sometimes the private people, and having many socio-economic and environmental benefits. Because of tourism development, there will be a change in the national parks, in the society, and the individual can also learn from the nature, and it also contributes both economically and generates income to the local people and the other stakeholders. And India is blessed with a rich biodiversity, having more than 100 national parks, and which is having the highest or the rarest the wildlife that people can witness. And apart from that, there are many other hill stations which are very popular even today, Like these were very popular during the colonial period, and now also these are become one of the best tourist destination to visit, both for the domestic and international tourists. With this, I would like to close up by suggesting you through go through the e-text of quadrant 1 and the quadrant 3 and 4 for further information like web resources and the bibliographic resources. Thank you.